joined. Come on, let's see. Let's see. Let's get the notification. Come on, Facebook, do your thing. Do your thing. There it is. There she goes. It's working. Hooray! On tonight's episode of 24. Can't believe they're bringing that back.
Really?
Different cast, though. Which, I don't know, how you don't have Jack Bauer. If you don't have Jack Bauer and it's not the same Jack Bauer, we're going to have a problem. It's just like when you're on like triple duty tonight.
Who, me?
Yeah, you made a couple videos. You were on the other show. You're rocking and rolling tonight. You were a busy beaver.
Yeah, it's been a busy day.
Busy's always good. It's better than the monotony of, I don't know what to do. Okay, so then we can cut all this out once. Oh, okay, so that's the benefit of doing that. Okay. That makes sense. That's a cool feature. Uncle Danny now approves this message. People are commenting, which is making me nervous that something's going on.
What do you mean?
Like, can they hear us? I don't know what the comments are, so. I'm sharing to my last place.
I just shared over to...
Nope. Oh, hit wrong button. Boom.
Wrong button.
Hit the easy button. All right. Yes. Okay. So everybody can hear us. That is good. Let me pull VC up. So I'd like to take a moment to thank those sponsors of ours, and let's start with the fantastic Memories Travel and the Mouse Master Travel Group. The Mouse Master Travel Group focuses on those Disney destination vacations, and the Mouse Master agents would love to take care of the stressful parts of your vacation planning so you can focus on the fun. You could check them out at mousemastertravel.com, and don't forget to tell them Behind the Ears Podcast sent you. Trader Sam's Coffee Company is the Artist Central Roaster of specialty Disney-inspired coffees. Some of their coffees include Skipper's Brew, Ghoulish Delight, Enchanted Tiki Coconut, Redheaded Rum, and so many other unique roasts. Their coffees are certified gluten and allergen-free and feature unique custom artwork by guest artists. You know, they like to say that they brew an adventure in a bag, so why not start your adventure off today by simply visiting them at TraderSam'sCoffee.com. Once again, it is TraderSam'sCoffee.com. And while you're there, don't forget to tell them Behind the Ears Podcast sent you by simply entering our promo code EARS20, EARS20, to save 20% off your first order. Brew your happy place. Mickey Monthly brings you a surprise box of Disney goodies direct from the Disney parks each month. They curate the perfect custom box for your family and have options including Disney trading pins, Main Street snacks, and authentic Disney park merchandise. Packages start at only $7, so cure your Disney withdrawal today by heading over to mickeymonthly.com. But while you're there, use our special promo code RADIO35, RADIO35, to save 35% off your first box. Are you a fan of live streams inside of Disney? Maybe you're a fan of Streaming the Magic. Well, for $5 a month, you can get the VIP treatment. You might say, Self, what is he talking about? What is this VIP treatment? Well, this includes exclusive streams only for the VIP members and a special and intimate show once a week with Behind the Ears Podcast where we take and answer all your questions. And the show will only be available for VIP members. No one else gets to see it. So head on over to Streaming the Magic and request to become a VIP member. With that being said, Streaming the Magic proudly brings to you Behind the Ears Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of Behind the Ears Podcast. It's not only Behind the Ears Podcast, we are now an award-winning Behind the Ears Podcast. So thank you, everybody who stepped out to vote for us tonight over on Be Live. It was an awesome experience. Mr. Chris did a great job. But before we dive into that, I am Uncle Danny, the man tapping on the other side of the glass. That is Mr. Chris. He was a busy beaver tonight. So, Mr. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm tired. I'm just flat out tired. Let's go ahead and call it what it is. It's been a busy day at work, busy day after work, but it's Taco Tuesday. So, hey, what can I say?
Super excited about everything. So if you hadn't seen what was going on, we were nominated for an award through Be Live as the best stream of the week, essentially. And we won. We had great competition. It was an awesome opportunity to be even a part of everything going on. Chris was able to represent us there on the show. But at the end of the day, we're just two guys talking into a microphone. We do appreciate all of you guys, coming in a little bit earlier, taking time away from your day to come give us a vote. So, Chris, thank you for representing the Behind the Ears podcast so well. And thank you all for being able to give us a hand and give us that vote. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it was actually a really awesome experience. I mean, the other show was the host of that particular show. I really was interested in hearing what she had to say. And the interesting part is it was a lot about it. Like her show was about healthy living and, clean eating and food and stuff like that. I'm thinking to myself, food? We know all about food. Unfortunately, I think that if she listened to some of our shows, she'd probably flame us. And I say that with love and respect, of course, but just because, she's talking about eating organic and we talk about eating Casey's corn dog nuggets. I mean, it's just
this physique takes time to master.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, you don't get a body like this overnight. This is years of hard work to become this awesome. But yeah, I mean, it was a big honor just to have someone say, hey, you know what, we're going to nominate you. And that in of itself, I mean, the nomination had nothing to do, as far as I know, with anybody from our listening audience. It was, someone totally independent. And to me, just to be nominated was, very much an honor. And they actually listened to our show about one of our top fives in regards to movies from a couple weeks ago as kind of like the baseline of what they listened to make the nomination, which was kind of cool. I do think that was some of our best shows, especially a best series that we've had in a long time. But other than that, I mean, that was really kind of cool. And what can I tell you? It was pretty awesome. And I will tell you, the whole Behind the Ears community just showed up in mass. And I mean, they were talking us up before the show even started, and it was awesome. That really meant a lot to both Danny and me. Everybody, seriously, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
So, hold on, there I
don't know what happened.
Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button.
Let's try that again. Take two.
The new thing we're trying to do is give you this day in history. We kind of went away from the actual day in history and American history and things like that because there's such morbid things on there. So we want to keep it more fun and more lively, but a little serious at the same time. We're going to give you the Disney this day in history Disney style. So here's a fun one. Yes. And a lot of people misconstrued a lot of things that were going on at this time. But in 1947, in Washington, D.C., Walt Disney heads a list of friendly witnesses testifying to the first House of Un-American Activity Committee investigation on communist subversion in Hollywood, California.
Wow, that's deep, crazy. Man. That's deep.
It's crazy to think that. But on a more lively note, this day in 1955, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse airs on ABC. Today is Fun with Music Day.
Really?
First, M-I-C-K-E-Y. Can't sing the rest of the song.
No. I was going to say it's not Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside. It's fun inside. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
This is also the October preview month for this was day 2 of Walt Disney World's 3-day grand opening celebration that took place. The formal dedication of the contemporary resort takes place at noon on Sunday with Bob Hope, followed by the dedication of the Polynesian Village at 6 p.m. A special luau took place at the Polynesian, followed by the debut of Disney's World's electrical water pageant. in the Seven Seas Lagoon. Although open to the public since October 1st, Disney World debuts its very first official firework display called Fantasy in the Sky Spectacular on this evening. Remember that one, because that may come as a small little tribute later on in a trivia show. Nearly 40,000 visitors, the biggest crowd yet, jam Walt Disney World's turnstiles Saturday, October 23rd, as the $400 million Magic Kingdom kicked off, $400 million Magic Kingdom kicked off with its 3-day formal opening celebration. Pretty cool. 1982, Epcot Center, Disney's third theme park, is officially dedicated at 11 a.m. by Disney chairman Carden Walker. And there's some other little cool stuff in here. 2002, it was reported that Disney's Monsters Inc. had sold 13 million units worth $250 million on DVD and VHS internationally.
Nice.
I didn't realize it was that big internationally. Anything more recent? 2014, it is reported that Disney has confirmed that it will be removing the Sorcerer's hat from Disney's Hollywood studios in 2015.
And thus started a bunch of arguments on the internet as to whether or not this was a good or bad thing.
Oh, yeah. So what do we have in store for everybody tonight? We have a show that we haven't done in a while, but always is a fan favorite. And what could it be? I'm not sure. Direct your eyes to the screen. It is a mailbag episode. We do have one question right off the bat. Didn't even have to dig down into the mailbag for this one. It was asked by Jessica. She would like to know, hey, Chris, have a question for you. How do you keep your extra camera lens safe without taking in big camera bag?
Oh, that's a really good question. And it's a little bit easier than you think. Allow me to show you, okay? I didn't even know that he was going to come up with this question. So I happen to have my big camera bag here. Hold on. This is one of those things. I got to put my headphones down.
Oh, good,
Okay.
Renee. You ordered your hoodie.
So let me show everybody.
I wasn't talking or anything, right?
What? There we go. What? Okay. So this actually has one of my lenses. It's in a smaller bag, mainly because I swapped lenses out and I never swapped it back. I use a small padded bag that actually has a clip on it, clips onto my bigger camera bag. And what's nice is that it, just has a little drawstring, and what it is my lens will just pop right out, just like that. That's actually my large 55 to 250 lens, and it's nice. It's nice and fuzzy. It's nice. It's lightly padded. It's kind of a neoprene, so it's, I don't want to say waterproof, but water just rolls right off of it. This is actually designed for a slightly smaller lens than what this was in, but you just kind of slide in the lens, and then I just go ahead and tie this up. And then I actually have an extra carabiner clip that is on my DSLR camera bag that it actually clips right on. I actually got a set of those from Amazon. Didn't pay too much for them. They were actually came as a kit. I got 4 of them. Came from small, medium, large, and holy crap, what am I going to put in that because it's so big? And I think it also came as a kit with some lens cleaning cloths, microfiber cloths type of thing. Really a cute little kit. Didn't cost too much. I don't want to necessarily provide advertising for the company. But I will be more than happy to, post things up later out on the Disney community page. There's many different kinds out there. And speaking of cameras, Danny, dude, I'm having my friend, my friend that actually works with Kathy, let me borrow her fisheye lens.
Like a real one, not one that comes in like a kit? Like a real fisheye lens?
Well, it fits on the end of a regular lens. And I asked her, how does it work? She goes, oh, that's really good. You want to try it? Yeah. So I'm going to give it a try to see what happens. It's a little on the heavy side, so I'm assuming I'm going to probably have to use one of my smaller lenses to really get a good wide angle fisheye lens for it. I can't wait to try it out. It's almost like I have to now go to Disney on another trip just so I can try it out. I don't know.
I would
By the
say
way,
that's reasonable.
I think it's reasonable, but I'm just going to let everybody know right now, no, I will not be going out there next week with Danny.
Or
That will not happen. No, I just no.
That's what he wants.
No. The cupboard is bare. So
there's always some cookies somewhere. So, do you have the list of things that might be available to us?
Hold on a second. Let me pull this one up. Actually, I did get a question, and it basically it was kind of a long worded question, but I'm going to go ahead and summarize it. The question basically entailed talking about the not rumor, but different reports of TSA security at Orlando International Airport. This is mainly for people who are leaving Walt Disney World, about how, they're really taking some extreme measures, and is it really taking that much longer to get through security? Now,
TSA pre-check.
Well, the thing is,
$5 ever.
Yeah, well, the problem of it is that when you're traveling with a family of 4.
Ooh, yeah, true.
I mean, that kind of gets kind of pricey, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the only thing. In fact, someone actually on a different thread was actually talking about, hey, I'm really glad I got pre-check. And I'm like, well, that's great, but you're not necessarily going to spend that much money for pre-check for, your teenage kid coming with you to Disney once, maybe twice a year. I'm gonna say this with absolute humor. People already are trying to get the lowest price of airfare possible, but to throw pre-check on top of it is just kind of ridiculous. So basically they were asking, how much time does it actually take? And I will definitely tell you that, people that complained about Disney's Magical Express taking, 3 hours, picking up 3 hours before your flight, and saying, oh, that takes up too much of my time. I can actually leave an hour and a half before my flight and still have plenty of time to get to my flight, and so on and so forth. So that's why they drive, or that's why they Uber it, or whatever. Fact of the matter is, from what it sounds like, and I've got a few different confirmed firsthand experiences reported back to me on this. And people were saying, like, right now, especially during the Halloween parties, they've made people take out all the candy and have all the candy separated separately. And we all know how much candy some of these people get. So it's not a trivial amount. They were making people take out all their electronics. They were having people take out all their books and magazines. Basically, one person said, I practically unpacked my entire suitcase. My entire carry-on. In fact, Kathy's sister and husband just went down to Florida, went down to Orlando. In fact, they're staying on property, and they basically had to go. They went through everything, and they carried on their luggage. They never checked their luggage, so it was like it was ridiculous. Now, granted, I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't blame TSA. Okay, I am not one of these people. I'm not going to sit here and openly criticize TSA, but the fact of the matter is that something obviously must be going on to trigger this sort of thing, to have to scan candy and things like that separately. Although some of those little nuggets of chocolate and stuff like that can be actually quite dense, and I'm sure they show up on X-ray as weird stuff, and they're just trying to cover their butts. So the thing is that I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm kind of neutral at this whole thing, but it's one of those things that we as travelers need to just make sure that you catch your DME bus, you get there. If you can get your boarding passes beforehand, either on a smart device or have Disney print them out for you, whatever it is, if you can also check your luggage, and not have to drag it through security, you're probably going to do yourself a service. Are other airports having that problem? I really haven't heard anything specific. A friend of mine went through O'Hare today, as a matter of fact, and they got there early, and they were in and out through security in 15 minutes. but it was also really early. It was like before 6 a.m. because she had a really early flight. Now, I personally, here's my rule. I like to get to the airport 2 hours before you board. Not before the flight leaves, before you board. So like 2.5 hours. That sounds like a ridiculous amount of time. Fact of the matter is, I'd rather be prepared. I'd rather be able to get through security and then chill out, grab myself a snack or something like that on the other side of security and not worry about it. That's just me.
TSA is interesting. I've had great experiences. It just seems in the latter part of traveling more, they didn't like the candle I brought back from the Indie Disney meet.
What?
Oh yeah, they had to take it out of the bag. They had to swab it. Okay. Listen, at the end of the day, it's all for safety. I get it. I would rather be thorough and be safe. Same thing with Disney security. Rather be thorough than safe. But sometimes it's just like they don't care. And it's just, I don't know. I'm not here to bash them. It's just odd. I mean, there was times I used to joke, Atlantic City Airport here in New Jersey. I used to literally, and this is no exaggeration, I used to show up 25 minutes before my flight was leaving. I would throw my bag up on the counter and have my boarding pass printed. I would walk right through TSA because there was never anybody there. I was on my plane literally from the time I closed my door to the time they closed the door was maybe 25 minutes. That's how quick it was. Yeah. Now, last time I was there, they ripped through my bag. They made I had to go in a different room and undress. Like wildness, man. Like just, I was
did they pull out the rubber gloves?
No,
just try to relax.
No rubber gloves. They just gave me a lot of pat because normally whenever I go through, I always get patted down right here. I wear my dad's wedding ring and my grandfather's wedding ring. Those never come off. This necklace has been on me since I was a kid. Different things on it, but this necklace doesn't ever come off of me. And they never have a problem with it. Now they want me to take it off. I told them it ain't coming off. You can pat it down. You can spray it. I mean, they were swabbing my hands like I was just like robbing a bank or something. Like I was not going to draw blood at some point. It was getting wild.
They didn't swab your hands after going to the Indie Disney meet, did they?
No, thank God, no. They would have had a problem with that. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, man, that guy didn't go to the shooting range this week.
Just to let everybody, Danny and I did sporting clays after the Indie Disney meet. Before his flight, we went to a range and met up with a really good friend of mine and, just did a little bit of some shooting sports just to have fun. Something that, I love to do, and shared it with Danny. And, you tend to get shotgun residue on you. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, afterwards, I dropped him off at the airport. I think to myself, oh, crap. I hope you can get through security.
At the end of the day, listen, they're doing their job. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah,
because, it's going to say, I would rather wait in line 3 hours than God forbid something happen. Because the minute something happens, who's it going to fall back on? How did TSA let him go through? TSA sees thousands. I mean, think about a national hub like Indy, LAX, MCO, which was Orlando, Newark, JFK. You're seeing thousands of faces. You're seeing thousands of luggages a day. You got to, that's maybe we all sit there and say, man, these people are miserable. That's got to be a tedious job because you're staring at a screen of all these bags going through. And 99.9% of those bags is going to be nothing. It's going to be pure things that we're allowed to travel with. But there's that 1.1% chance somebody's bringing something they shouldn't be bringing.
Yeah. So, well, I think that's all I got to say about that. Just, get there early. Don't worry about it. Pack a little bit differently, possibly, if you're, especially when you're leaving Disney. Pack as much into your check bag if possible. And I think you'll do very well. So, Danny, did you find another one in the mailbag for today, or do you want me to go next?
I did. What'd they say? Anna actually messaged this on my Facebook page. So normally we don't take that, but heck, why not? I'm in a giving mood. She was just saying, I was just wondering. I'm sorry, Facebook updated itself. And because we scheduled this show, every time people are commenting, it's dinging in my ear. So if I look like I'm going zoning out, I'm trying to figure out how to tell Facebook to shut up at this moment. But back to the question. And I want to know, I was just wondering if anyone had any knowledge of the pirate room over at CBR. We have one booked. We are staying there. We've stayed at CBR before, but never in a pirate room. That, by the way, that's Caribbean Beach Resort. That's what CBR stands for. Just wondering which one we should request. If there's a good one to request, thank you so much in advance for your help. Well, Anna, Chris, do you want to start with this one? Or would you like me?
Well, the only thing I'll say is I hear that while it might be a pirate room, they still don't play movies that are rated R.
Thank God you saved that for this show and not the show you were just on.
I know. Tell me about it. So I'll leave that at that. I'll let you go ahead and kick that off. I couldn't help myself.
The rooms are actually really spacious. They're well themed. I think they do a really, really cool job. I like the little crates they have in there. All the beds are shaped, obviously, as pirate ships. It's a very nautical theme, obviously. Some of the picture frames have like rope outlining and so on and so forth. Here's the problem. She want to know if we should request a certain one. No. There's nothing to request, and this is the only problem. Anytime Disney so far has offered creative rooms like who has the was it the princess room with the firework display? Who's got that?
Isn't that over at the Port Orleans?
Oh yeah, Riverside has that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was somewhere else. Anytime you have offerings like that, here's what they do. I'll talk for Riverside for a second. Those rooms are considered preferred rooms, but they're preferred because of their view. So, for example, Riverside, those rooms are on the backside facing the water. Great views, spacious rooms, well done. You're still the furthest point away from everything because that's where the great views are. Same thing with these pirate rooms. They're phenomenal rooms, especially if you have kids or you're into the whole pirate aspect like I am. It's absolutely great stay. Don't worry about it. Listen, you're going to be walking a lot no matter what. But to request one closer to the front or where's the best one, you can't. It's a good distance from the main pool and any of the eateries. But, listen, you're going to walk multiple miles at the end of the day. So
by the way, just for clarity, you're not walking multiple miles to your room.
No. You're gonna walk multiple miles at Disney at any given moment when you're in there. So to add a few extra steps in the back end, to me, it's not the end of the world. I also like those rooms in the back a little more. You get a better ambiance of scenery, but you don't hear as much hustle and bustle. I've had preferred rooms where I'm like, I want to be right next to the, food and the main entrance so I can get in and get out. That's great and dandy. But you're going to have, if you're really tired that night, you're going to have families that come in that are all hyped up. I don't blame them, but they're all hyped up and they're like, oh, loving Disney. It might be 11, 12, 1 in the morning. Even if you say maybe a more adult friendly room, you've got people strolling in at 2, 3 in the morning because of Disney Springs. They can get a little loud, which wake you up. Then on the flip end, if you like to sleep in because you're one of those late stragglers, now you have all the families walking by your hotel room, and you try telling a 5-year-old kid to be quiet when he's about to go see Mickey Mouse. Good luck. So that's where the preferred rooms really work out, but they are a step back. Just to piggyback on that, Alicia says, do all resorts have special rooms? No. They all have preferred views. Every hotel will offer you a preferred view. Contemporary's got the theme park view, or most of the time you have water view, garden view, but these special inspired hotel rooms where, it's a princess theme, it's a pirate theme. No, that's not in every hotel.
No, well, I'll just say, there are some other preferred rooms that are not necessarily themed as well. For example, at the value rooms, a lot of the preferred rooms are the actual buildings that are closest to the main building. That's also going to be closest to the food court, closest to the main feature pool, closest to the transportation, the gift shop, the lobby, check in, check out type of thing. That's, for the values, that's really where it makes a difference, is your location in relation to the main building. So it's a little bit different than the moderates, a little bit different than the the deluxes as well as different than DVC resorts.
Yeah, I did see. Let's see. I hate dead air like that. I know I saw a question, so I was trying to find it. Oh, here we go. It should be right here. Jeez, maybe it's not. Try telling Uncle Danny to be quiet when he's on his way to see Mickey Mouse. Yeah, you try. I can be quiet for Mickey Mouse. No offense. You try telling me Buzz Lightyear and a Joffrey's Coffee and Donuts waiting for me at Rope Drop. Yeah, I'm running, and I am not a quiet runner. Eric wants to know, Danny, are you nervous of the construction at CBR? Trying to decide to book myself? No, don't be. Listen, their construction is more than likely. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I've got it almost nailed down. It's from 9 to 5. It's basically banking hours. They might extend the 6. I know they never go before 8. And whether those hours pertain to you is, unless you're coming back for a hotel nap, you're not there while they're working. They're never going to be working at the crack of dawn when you're trying to sleep, and they're not going to be working at the wee hours of night when you're either trying to have a nice romantic dinner or stroll to the hotel or going to sleep. So don't be afraid. Honestly, I tell people all the time, Uncle Danny's tip for the day, book these hotels because they jack the prices down so much. Because people I'm not calling you out, Eric, but people are like, oh, I don't know, there might be a jackhammer, my kid might sleep. Don't worry about that. You're fine. You're going. That's just my personal opinion. Because I was looking, we could have got Caribbean Beach for like $145 a night while I was down there.
What?
Yeah.
For like this coming up trip?
Yeah.
And you didn't do it because?
At the end of the day, it's because of the length of my trip, it still would have been multiple $100s more than what I was paying.
Okay,
I can see that. I've never stayed at CBR. I've walked CBR, but there's a couple nights that I'm going to be by myself. And I want to stay at Pop. I want to see what it's like. I really enjoyed walking around it. My goal is to stay at every hotel, so I figure, listen, if I can't, and now granted, this trip I couldn't afford Riverside. I mean, I could have, but I'm not paying $240 a night for Riverside. I love Riverside, but I'm not paying $240 for a moderate. It's crazy, but yeah, don't be afraid to stay there. I wonder what the preferred rooms at the new Star Wars were. Oh, jeez, I can't even begin to. We're gonna have to touch on Star Wars coming up here. I know the trailer was released. We're gonna have to probably talk about that a little bit. I'm sure there's people wanting to talk about it. Yeah, that Disney hotel is going to be a whole show. I mean, excuse me, that Star Wars hotel is going to be a whole topic of its own.
We don't even know. We don't have any idea of how they're going to even have that set up. I mean, the fact of the matter is they might not even have preferred rooms. It might be all level playing field type of thing. Who knows? I mean, it's going to be kind of nuts to see how that goes, and also whenever it happens.
Yeah, very true. Danny, are you worried about your trainings? My training, listen, I can walk 3 point whatever miles. So as long as I can walk it and stay at pace, I'm not worried about training for no Princess Marathon. I'm going to blow that Princess Marathon out the water.
You know what? If I had the gumption, I would just totally race you. Just make it me and you.
Alex said the same thing the other day about me. Listen, I am surprisingly fast. I am light on my feet. I am surprisingly fast for a big man. Now, I will eventually fall over, keel over, run out of breath, and start crying, but I will catch you eventually. Does anyone know when the refurbing will be done? Trying to book for next fall. It's gonna be a while. Yeah, CBR is gonna be a while. I mean, you figure most of the demolition, I believe, is down. You know what? I'll have to go over to CBR to take a quick look at what's going on over there while I'm down there. I know a lot of the demolition is done, but they're still building a 15-story hotel. That doesn't just pop up overnight. So I think it's going to be going on while you're there. I'm coming in to Disney in February, and my aunt wants to find what is cheaper, either Bay Lake or Polynesian. What's your opinion?
Yeah, that's a good question. Go ahead.
You want to go first, Ken?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you know what? It really depends. It depends on the type of room that you get, and exactly when are you staying. The reason is that there are some garden view rooms, or garden wing rooms, excuse me, at the Contemporary, which no one usually talks about, to be honest with you. that are a lot less expensive than if you try to get the tower. Obviously, the most expensive rooms are going to be like the tower at the Contemporary for theme park view. Polynesian has varying views and also varying prices to go along with it. So the thing is that you really need to talk to a really cool travel agent, which we all know who we like, which is mousemastertravel.com. And talk to them about the options that you have, because the thing is that you really have to kind of play around with the numbers a little bit. You have to kind of decide what you want to do. At the same time, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody's cup of tea, but the fact of the matter is, you may want to split the stay. Try both. It may or may not work out well for you. We split stays all the time. We love it because it gives us a chance to try more resorts more often. And yes, I am a DVC member.
I tend to find that. I tend to find that the Contemporary is tends to be a tad bit cheaper at times, compared to Poly. If you're talking just straight ambiance, I'm gonna say go with Poly.
Yeah, I would say Poly is actually not a bad place to be. I enjoyed it. I think the rooms are big. I think the rooms are very well themed. That's a big thing. Is I think that the largeness of the rooms makes a big difference. Although I will say the Contemporary rooms are not, they're not small at all. Those are nice sized rooms. And I'm sure that, back in the day when they first came about, they were even bigger and better compared to a lot of other hotels that were in the area. There's a lot of room to stretch out, not just the beds, but, just, how a hotel room, when it's small in size, how it just kind of feels cramped. I don't necessarily feel that way at either the Poly or the Contemporary or Bay Lake Tower for that matter. So that's kind of what I would probably say. So we'll have to see. So there's Danny. Are you back?
Any better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, Bay Lake's beautiful. But like its name, it's a very contemporary look. It's a very sleek look, a very modern look. Poly, it pops. You feel like you really are just part of the whole ambiance with the whole beach motif and the palm trees and everything's that brown and green deep look.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think for the money, I prefer to stay at the Polynesian, but I'm also, a bigger Polynesian fan, even though I can't get over the fact that the monorail drives right to the hotel, the Contemporary, which I kind of want to stay there just for that. Listen, you're not going to go wrong either way. Because you can argue the Contemporary is walking distance to Magic Kingdom. Right. At that point, for that price point, throw in the Grand Floridian. I don't know if I think the Grand Floridian is gorgeous, but I just, like me and Chris have always said, I feel a little awkward getting off, the elevator with my swimming dungaroos on. I'm like, oh, look at me.
But I'll be honest with you. You have a good idea there. Okay. The interesting part to it is that I stayed at one of the DVC villas over at Grand Floridian this past summer. I was so pleasantly surprised on how wonderful of an experience it was. Now, when I say pleasantly surprised, I wasn't expecting a crap experience. After all, it is the Grand Floridian. But never did I feel out of place. And then, so I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. That's just my experience. Your mileage may vary. Taxes not included, void prohibited by law. But the fact of the matter is, I really super enjoyed my time there. It's one of those cases where it seems stuffy, but I think I found a new favorite. But it's not like a favorite that I would stay there all the time because I don't have enough points or I don't have enough money. But I would certainly welcome a stay there again in the future.
Yeah, every hotel, and this is maybe just, I've always wanted to do a video of this, like a montage. But every of these like resorts, Like, okay, I can walk in the Wilderness Lodge with a flannel on and some jeans and work boots and feel right at home.
People will think that you're a cast member there then.
Yeah, you can walk into the Polynesian with flip-flops, a Hawaiian shirt, and just be hanging out. The Grand Floridian, I always picture walking in like a 3-piece suit, a scotch in hand, and just hanging in the lobby.
You gotta have a mojito.
A mojito in Grand Floridian?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was part of the error. I thought it was more like bougie, like
maybe
martinis.
Maybe that you got to have a brandy or
okay.
some kind of a real rich cognac. Or
there you go. Like the Contemporary has always been the one that's been a modern marvel for me, and something where I sit back and I'm like, what does the Contemporary represent? Like, I just named you, Saratoga. I don't think now granted, I still don't think that Saratoga should be listed as a deluxe hotel, and we'll get into that in another episode, but to me it's a moderate. But if you want to throw it into this one, fine. I could see the family going to Saratoga, just mom, dad, typical family look, white picket fence, suburbia.
Love Saratoga.
What is the genre for the Contemporary though?
Well, it's all about being contemporary. I mean, it's very hip, very up to date.
Do you remember the Griswolds, the Christmas movie?
Gosh, yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you remember their neighbors?
Yes.
And how everything was at that sleek metal and everything. That's what I think.
A lot of brushed stainless, a lot of solid dark colored wood. I get it.
That's what I think the Contemporary is in my mind. I don't know why. It's just very the Contemporary's always been a modern marvel for me. I've never been able to pinpoint exactly what I think they are.
It's interesting because there are a lot of times where I will go to another hotel and it will have a very modern style to it. I mean, it will have the weird colored green or the very boxy decoration look, especially when it comes to lighting or something like that. And I'll look at my wife and it's like, I feel like I'm into Contemporary, but I know I'm not into Contemporary. It's just really weird. I mean, the Contemporary style is a Contemporary style, and when you're at the Contemporary, you definitely get that vibe. It's the least Mickey Mouse-ish, for lack of a better way of putting it. But still,
Why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot.
I don't remember that.
It's my favorite Christmas movie. But a lot of it's just not for this show. But
no, it's not. and I'll be honest with you. One time I bought it for like $5 from Amazon, because it was one of those add-on things. So it's like, cool, I'll go ahead and buy, Christmas Vacation. It'd be a lot of fun while sitting around, and I'll watch it with my kids. I forgot it was rated R.
Oh my god! Me and my family.
And as soon as the first 4-letter word dropped, my wife looks at me with this glare in her face, like,
"How dare it?" And it's only downhill from there.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, everybody, I think it's time for us to put on Mickey Mouse because this is not going to happen.
Let him watch Elf and just call it a day.
Yeah. I got
you got one more?
I was going to say, do you have one more?
No. I mean, I do, but I'll let you go.
Okay, so I got one last one. Someone was asking whether or not, we had an idea of when free dining is going to be offered and so on and so forth. And do they offer it every year? And I thought it was a good question. Now, I'm not going to talk about the value of free dining because I know we've done some shows on it in the past, and we'll probably revisit it sometime in the future. But I really wanted to just go ahead and make a couple comments. Free dining is usually, offered during more like the off season. Okay. Disney doesn't usually announce it until, right before they're getting ready to, release it as an offer. And it's done in the off season. You have to basically, pay full rack rate for your room. There's a limited availability. Yes, you can change things in order to make it happen, but you might have to change things. It might mean you have to go to a more expensive room, or you may have to downgrade or upgrade depending on what's going on. So here's what I do. If you know when you want to go and you're hoping that, you would get free dining free dining during the time that you're going to go, but you really want to secure your dates and you want to secure your location. Book your room. You can all has to be as a room only. It's a one night deposit, and just go ahead and book your room for where you want to stay, when you want to stay. Okay. Talk to your travel agent, and if an offer comes out for free dining or maybe something else, they can help you run the numbers, and they can give you the option. They might be able to move you into a different type of room where you're still going to be saving money versus paying out of pocket or this, that, and the other. People have been saying, though, that the availability of some of these free dining rooms is becoming more and more limited. I don't necessarily know the details on that, if that's really true or not. But, the fact of the matter is my stance always is book as soon as you know, book where you want to stay. And if you're able to get a discount or you're able to get an offer that saves you money, consider it extra pixie dust.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents. The thing is, if you really want to go and you know that you can only go the, 4th weekend of September, because that's the only time that everybody can go, you might as well go ahead and book it, at least the room only part, and then take care of the rest later.
I don't think that fits for AP holders, the free dining, though, because don't you have to get room and ticket deal?
Usually you have to get room and ticket deal. And lately, the number of nights that you would have to stay changes. Used to be only like one night. You could do it for one night and not be a problem. All you had to do is get a 1 day, 1 park ticket, and you'd be golden. It's not not necessarily the case anymore. So there are some ways to finagle it for AP holders. But the fact of the matter is, you're still gonna have to shell out the money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, whether or not that's going to be better for you to do it that way or pay out of pocket, chances are, if you're an AP holder already, it's probably not a good deal. But there are other ways to save money as an AP holder, and we should cover that in a different show.
Yeah.
But if you are not an AP holder, it's something to consider. Again, I'm not always the biggest fan of free dining, just because it doesn't always fit every person's touring scenario. It's not one of those questions that, yes, for everybody, this works great. And we can talk about that in a different show, but that's just at least the idea to get your room, because at least then you have a place to stay.
Yeah. Avi, want to know, have you guys discussed the dog policy on Behind the Ears yet? Yes, we have. We've actually discussed it multiple times, but our main show, you can go back and listen to it on iTunes or search for it on Streaming the Magic, or simply just go to the Disney community. It's probably going to be a little bit easier to sift through things there. Yeah, just go check it out. We did a show. You can watch the live or listen to audio, whichever you prefer. Jane would like to know, has anyone gotten the $50 offer for no housekeeping? We are hopefully going to be trying that this week.
I don't think that was it wasn't $50 a day.
Well, I heard not a night for your trip. I heard there was some people were getting $100.
Oh, then they must have changed it, because I knew it was only supposed to. One time it was X number per day, and then, like you said, maybe there's something else about for length of stay, but yeah.
So a couple people wanted me to bring this topic up. Is Alex was on the computer today, and she found the Disney's Channel Imagineer, that the host Tom Morrow 2.0, the actual little robot, he was for sale for like $27,000.
Oh my gosh! Really? Oh man, I saw it. I didn't get a chance to click on it. Now I'm glad I didn't.
I can't say that I didn't contemplate putting a bid on for it. I mean, that is Disney iconic, but that kind of got the ball rolling. She put a nice little post up there, but basically at the end of the post, it says, if you could take home anything, signs, props, blah, 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 furniture, etc., from any park or resort, what would it be? So immediately, this is where my brain went. Do you remember the show? They're actually bringing it back, which I'm super excited for, because it was a great show. Do you remember? Now I can't believe I'm blanking on the name, but it used to be the grocery store where they used to give you the shopping cart, and they used to make you run up and down the aisles and grab as much stuff as you can. That would be and whoever would add up to the biggest bill. Okay.
Yep. I know exactly. Okay, I know the show that you're referring to, and I'm also blanking on the name.
Something Spree Kitchen.
The shopping spree. There's like,
Well, one of our listeners is sure to know what it is, but inside of that show, I thought of, okay, give me a shopping cart. Now, this is going back. This can't really physically happen either way, but I want to go into the back lot tour. No. Oh, supermarket sweep. Yes.
Yes, that's what it is. I know you're right. Yes,
it is coming back, by the way.
And oh, really? Are you serious? Oh, my wife will be so excited.
You can take. I wanted to take the shopping cart and go into the back lot tour when you used to have the queue where you'd go up and down all the rows and have all the antique stuff. Just give me a cart and let me just run up and down because I want everything out of the back lot. I love everything going on. But I'm going to let you answer, and then I need to contemplate on one actual piece I would want to take home.
What type of iconic?
It could be anything. I mean, I'm assuming it would have to like fit in a house. Like you can't say, "Hey, I want to take the sorcerer's hat home with me."
Oh, that would make for one heck of a
journey home.
Yeah, it's like, honey, we need to go to the local Chevy dealer. Why? We need to buy a bigger truck. Okay. Now, this goes to show that we're unscripted because we didn't talk about this beforehand. We did our own mailbag list, to be honest with you. You know, I'm going to go simple. Okay. You know how sometimes they fly certain banners on the light posts up and down Main Street and up and down some of the other main thoroughfares in the parks and stuff like that for different celebrations and things like that.
Okay.
I have tried actually to win certain auctions that had some of those banners that were used in the parks for certain celebrations, like the Year of a Million Dreams celebration. That was several years ago. I think it was like 2008. I wanted to get some of those long banners and just hang them in my basement. Well, you know, I kind of like instead of pictures, kind of have these big long tapestries.
Okay.
I think that would have been really cool. In fact, it was actually an idea. I wanted to put those types of things in my theater as because they're fabric and they would absorb sound. I was actually going to put them in my theater as some sound, I'll say treatment as well. I still may do that, to be honest with you. I just got to find the right banners. But that's what I would do. I would try to find some vintage celebration type banners that were actually used and then bring them in my theater probably.
Ava, no, darling, please. I like the 1970 ad sign from Tower of Terror. That's awesome. Any furniture backstage, property control, awesome. The conch cell in the living room of the table, awesome. But you want to take home the monorail carpet behind the seats? I wouldn't touch anything in that monorail. It's so old and dingy. And oh, God, no. No, too many people.
I don't think so. I don't think so, Tim.
Listen, I could say I want to bring home the statue. The friendship statue. The partner statue. Yeah. I could say, you know what? When they want to get rid of the redhead, I want the iconic redhead. Bring her home, put her behind my bar. It would look awesome.
You know one thing I do have? And I have yet to actually take it out of the box. I have one of the king-size bedspreads from the Animal Kingdom Lodge before they did a refurbishment.
Oh, that's cool.
And it has all the different prints and everything on it. I really have to get that out of the box. I have to go get it washed at one of those big, gigantic spin washer things at like Loads of Fun Laundry type of place, and then use it. It actually looks really, really cool. I got a really good deal on it, but I haven't used it yet.
I'm assuming my product I bought it from the same place you bought yours from. When the Contemporary did a swap out of all their china, I actually got 4 of the big boy dinner plates with the gray outering, and it says the Contemporary Resort Disney World. And on the
That's
back of the Disney World
cool.
stand, I have 4 of them. 2 of them ended up breaking, but I still have 2 more. So,
the one thing Virginia has in her bedroom here is the old bedroom set from the All-Star Music Resort.
oh wow.
And what I did is because it was kind of dinged up and stuff like that, I actually refurbished it. I actually painted it white with a really cool purple front and stuff like that. And I refurbished. I also had 2 of the headboards that were over the beds, and I refurbished those again, purple and white. Looked great. I used a spray, and then I wet sanded it all down and polished it all up. Oh, it was really good. I have that, which she still has it. It's actually still in halfway decent shape. She also had 2 bedside tables. And then I also have the table that came from that room. And I actually had the sconce light that came from there. It has it's the perforated metal, and it has the outline of music notes and stuff like that. That's downstairs in my basement in use right now. Yeah, that was cool. I mean, the only thing it was kind of funny. It was the funny part is I paid like $75 for the whole set. Seriously, for everything.
That's not
except it cost me $500 to ship it.
Wow.
Yeah. But you know what? It was cheaper than anything else we were able to find at the moment for a bedroom set for my daughter. And even after, paying for it, paying for the shipping, reconditioning it, and so on and so forth, it was still cheaper than even some of the cheapest pieces of junk bedroom furniture that she can possibly have. So
we saw some awesome stuff, some old chess from some of the hotels. Alex found a couple things from the Polynesian, like Ottoman sets. Like, you can find some really cool stuff. You just got to know where to look and where to dig. But the one thing I would like to take away from the park would be, I want to take away the moving Buzz Lightyear from inside of Buzz Lightyear Space Bin.
Oh,
I just want every morning when I leave for work, be like, bye, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
His shoddy, his just shoddy all over the place. Just, oh man,
that's funny. I mean, that would actually be cool and creepy at the same time.
Oh god, yeah. Imagine that thing starts walking in your room.
Think about it. You know what one animatronic very similar in nature that you could probably get now? Mr. Potato Head.
Someone's got to have it.
It has to be somewhere.
Someone's got it. I mean, I'm sure Disney has it. I don't think they would have sold that just yet.
No, probably not. But the funny part is you kind of know where I'm getting at, right? They had to take it out. They took out Mr. Potato Head for the 3rd track for Toy Story.
But imagine, how's the thing go missing? Like, imagine you come in one day and be like, so boss, the Potato Head guy, not sure what happened. I put him here last night.
Yeah, so I fell asleep during my security my security sweep, and next first I thought I just couldn't find the angry ears and the angry eyes, but it's gone. What's gone? Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, the spud's gone. What? Well, first off, I thought he went to the commissary and, kind of, went to the ABC commissary, and they have that new dish now that you can get mashed potatoes and stuff like that.
He's a cannibal. He's a potato. He's eating other potatoes. This is enough.
I didn't say it was okay. Fine, that went down a really horrible.
I got twisted real quick.
This is. I wasn't thinking. I just wasn't thinking.
The last thing I want to touch on before we go, because we are running tight with time here. Brian had brought it up a little while ago. Did you see that Disney is basically saying they're introducing a way for people who are vision impaired, anybody who's blind, where they can actually have a sensation where they feel the fireworks? I want to read more into this.
I didn't see that, but I'm a little behind in my reading today, to be honest with you.
Okay. I don't want to go too much into it because I really would prefer not to give the wrong information. So remind me, Brian, tomorrow to bring it up. But
let's talk about that tomorrow. That should be cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of cool. So do you have any final words for our lovely listeners?
No, I don't. I mean, I think it's fun doing a mailbag show like this every once in a while. We really appreciate all the feedback that we get, all the questions that we get. By all means, please, if you have any other things that you would like for us to address, either a question, a comment, topic for a whole show, give us a line, give us a note over at BehindEarsPodcast@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you. We normally don't do a lot of things on Messenger for the show. We would really prefer it to be, sent to the email or to the Disney Community Facebook page or to the Behind Ears podcast page. But hey, we love hearing from you guys no matter how we hear from you. Just know that sometimes if you try to get us through Messenger, our responses may be delayed because of the nature of our day jobs.
Those darn day jobs. With that being said, don't forget to send us. Actually, hold on one second. I have a surprise.
He's got a surprise. I don't know anything about this. Let's just go ahead and say I'm scared.
So,
what could it be?
My sister is moving out of her house.
Okay.
So, they were going through some old stuff.
I was going to say, did you get her big TV?
No, I already have my big TV. I'm happy. So she was going through some old stuff, and she came across something that I remember she had, but I completely forgot. And she was like, hey, I think this would be great for your show. And I was like, oh, what is it? It's the Disney Trivia Pursuit.
I have that.
I know. I remember playing this as a kid, going crazy over this. And I forgot all about it. And it's funny that happened because today, Alex, with me and her, were bidding on some stuff on Goodwill.com or Shop Goodwill, whatever it is. Yeah. And they have a Monopoly, one of the original Disney Monopolies.
Oh, wow.
I'm in a bidding war for this right now. And it's great because it's located in Orlando. So if I win the bid, which closes in 2 days, I'm going to pick it up while I'm on vacation. And everything is still sealed. There's a slight tear in one of the boxes. But I mean, to have that, you know how hard it is to find something. Now people might, and actually no one really knows this. I collect Monopoly games.
Oh, cool.
I used to play them all the time as a kid. Now I just collect them and they just stay packaged. I don't know why. They're probably never going to be worth anything. But that's why when I saw the new one was coming out, I was like, oh god, I'll give you $100 right now. Just give it to me. But with that being said, we'll talk about more of that on the show. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Facebook is Behind the Ears Podcast, Instagram Behind the Ears Podcast, and that pesky Twitter Behind the Ears PC. Any listener questions, comments, or concerns, please email us over at behindtheearspodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow our Facebook group, Behind the Ears Podcast, and also the Disney community. We're 3,000 members strong, growing every day. With that being said, iTunes. How can I forget about iTunes? Rate and review the show on iTunes, people. It's been a while since we had a rate and review. Come on now. And lastly, if you want to buy any of the Disney merchandise that we sell, the unofficial Disney merchandise we sell, let me add that in, Behind the Ears Podcast merchandise we sell. Simply go to behindtheearspodcast.net. Click on the shop button, and you'll list everything in there. So with that being said, guys, don't forget to sweep your floors, bring out those mops, drink the cranberry juice. I am Uncle Danny, signing out.
And I'm Mr. Chris. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the show over at iTunes or even Apple Podcasts or Google Play Music or whatever your podcast catcher does. Subscribe. Get the show when it comes out. You'll always be in the know. Well, until we meet again, thank you so much for being a part of our community, and have a wonderful and magical day. Take care.